meantime, we are going to shift gears and look at a case out of Kentucky where police are going through jungle-like terrain with machetes in search for a suspect who opened fire near Interstate 75 over the weekend.
Suspect Joseph Couch has been on the run for 4 days. He faces multiple attempted murder and assault charges for allegedly shooting and wounding 5 people. Investigators say that he sent a text message vowing to, quote, kill a lot of people shortly before the shooting.
Scripps News Kentucky obtained several of the 911 calls from the day of the shooting and has this update on the search for this suspect.
The gunshot wounds in her side here. She's starting to go numb on me. She's starting to black out on my neck.
Any of the first responders out there that you can find?
No, I don't see nobody. I'm right now on my knees. She's trying to stay on the gun. Yeah, she's shot in the side.
When they called, said we have an active shooter, didn't believe it. My heart sank because it's like, they said this is real. People's been injured.
Tonight in Laurel County, the manhunt continues for Joseph Couch, the man who police believe pulled the trigger, injuring several people Saturday. Kentucky State Police are heading up the search, but London police were among the first on scene and are still involved.
We have been canvassing the outer perimeter and then any potential areas that he might have been. We've also increased patrols throughout those areas and in the city just to make sure that the citizens of London are safe.
A $10,000 and $5,000 reward have been offered for information.
If he's watching this, we hope that he turns himself in peacefully. And then if any of the citizens out there spot him, we ask that you do not approach. You call 911 and let our officers know any information that you have about him.
London Mayor Randall Weddle says it's going to take every agency, every citizen to move past this horrific incident.
Let's come together and let's get through this together because we have to do this as a community.
Still with us, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie Pereira. Okay, Marie, a scary situation there. They've closed down the schools. Thankfully, the 5 people that he shot, they survived, but just a very scary situation to say the least.
It really is, and when you really think about it, I read up on this. This guy purchased the gun legally, and he purchased 1,000 rounds of ammunition. So he's ready. He's hiding out now. I believe they're going to find a body in the woods, and he's probably going to kill himself. Because what else does he have to live for? They know who he is. They're looking for him. He didn't even accomplish, thank God, what his claim to fame, what he wanted it to be. Gun control is the issue. You see, he purchased it legally. They sold him all that ammunition. But why does he even have that type of rifle that he could hide from on top of a bridge or wherever and shoot at people who are driving by? Nobody should have guns like that. For what?
Is there more that you want to know about this suspect that you think may even be helpful? Because we know these officers, investigators, the feds are involved. They are combing through his background to see if they can figure out where he would want to go, what his capabilities are. But is there more that we would need to know just to understand this horrific story, the tragedy, which I think is compounded right now because you have schools that are closed in search for this person because they don't want someone who's on the loose shooting people with this intent. I mean, it is gripping this entire area.
I think they need to apprehend him, and I think, yes, it would be good to speak to his people to say, okay, does he have a place that he usually likes to go? Is he, you know, avid in doing this? Can he create fires in the wood? Is he a hunter? Is he a camper? Where's he hiding out? That would help, but at the end of the day, there's no more we need to know. He needs to be apprehended. If we're lucky, and I hate to say this, maybe he'll take out himself, because really, what else does he have to live for at this point? Because his life is over. And I don't think he cared about his life, because who does that? I don't think he has a history of mental illness. And even if he did, what's done is done. He needs to be apprehended, locked up, shackled, put away. That's what needs to happen. And the family needs to help, like you said, to tell us about him. Where could he be? What are his resources? How can we apprehend him? They need to do everything they could to make sure this man is off the street, because he could come out and shoot more people. This is terrible. Too many guns. 1,000 rounds of ammunition. For what?
Marie, some text messages before the shootings that we have obtained, and he said, quote, I'm going to kill a lot of people. Well, try at least. And then also, I'll kill myself afterwards. So Yeah, just, you know, like you said, maybe they will find him somewhere in the woods. Maybe he did kill himself, but hopefully we're just not going to end up seeing more shootings.
The shootings are going to continue to happen because the guns are being manufactured. They're putting it out there into society, and mostly in America, because in other countries, you don't see this happening as often. There needs to be legislation to control the guns in the hands of the people it ends up in. It's not even an issue of, okay, we need to, just enough with the guns, because he purchased it legally. He purchased 1,000 rounds of ammunition. You have to ask yourself, what society do we live in that allows that type of purchase of an automatic weapon with that amount of bullets to go in the weapon? To do what? No good could come from that. That's where legislation in Congress needs to start. Listen, I'm no Philip Dubé, and I can't quote congressional laws, which I know he could, but I know this is wrong, and they need to get the guns off the street. The mass production of these types of weapons. It's not just like a little two-shooter. Weapons that allow you to murder people in a minute, hundreds of people. Why do we need weapons like this? I don't get it.
It's a debate that continues in this country. Every time we see an incident like this, there's a debate that starts with two sides saying that it's the people that need to be regulated, the people that have this murderous intent, that it's not the guns. And then there's the argument that it is the guns and whether or not people obtain them illegally or legally. Maria, I do want to shift our focus back to what actually is happening there in London and talk about the search. As it continues, we know there's a press conference that's happening at 3 p.m. Eastern, so about in an hour. Police have tried to keep people updated about what's happening in this case. But if they do apprehend him alive, very serious charges are going to be on the other end of that. Actually, Maria, I do want you to stand by because we do have to get to a break, but we will continue to bring you updates out of London, Kentucky when things change there.